President Jimmy Carter had a plan for peace in the Middle East, and it's a major focus for President Obama. But as we saw with Carter, Obama might not have the best approach. Mike Evans is a Mideast analyst and author of Jimmy Carter, The Liberal Left, and World Chaos, a Carter-Obama plan that will not work. And actually, some of the foundations of Jimmy Carter's policies we're still dealing with today. First off, Mike, Jimmy Carter, a man of peace, he brought peace to the Middle East, didn't he? Anwar Sadat, Egypt and Israel aren't fighting. Shouldn't he be saluted?
Sadat was assassinated because of Jimmy Carter. He funded the Muslim Brotherhood with $500 million, and they became known as the Taliban and al-Qaeda.
And that was Zawahiri. Was one of the founders of the Muslim Brotherhood. Jimmy Carter said, makes no bones about it. He is not pro-Israeli. He is pro-Palestinian.
Right. Jimmy Carter has an ideological belief system that Obama has to understand, because if he plays that game, we're going to have hell to pay for it. He deposed the Shah of Iran. He conspired through a Guadeloupe summit to overthrow the Shah of Iran. The president of France told me he was a bastard of conscience. He showed up in Guadeloupe with the French and the Germans and told us.
And next thing you know, the Ayatollah Khomeini comes over from France, takes over, and nothing's been the same in that region. But how does that relate to Barack Obama?
With terrorists and journalists. Peter Jennings was on the plane, Air France. How does it relate to Obama? Obama has an ideological worldview similar to Jimmy Carter.
Talk to Iran. Talk to our enemies.
Reason with these people. This is really, see, Jimmy Carter rejected preemption. He rejected the Nixon doctrine. By the way, he was elected on change and hope, and he ran against an unpopular president and an unpopular war. Watergate, Vietnam, Nixon.
And the funding of what would now be known as al-Qaeda really started during the Carter years.
Listen, when Carter conspired to overthrow the Shah, and he succeeded, the Empress of Iran, Farah, told me, when he succeeded, Brezhnev said, if you do this, we will invade Afghanistan. They did. The invasion, the Shah told his wife, I fear that horror will come upon the world if he does this, because I fear that the Russians will invade Afghanistan, and Saddam Hussein will invade us, and the radical Islamics will become an epidemic, and they did.
And you see a lot of similarities between the two.
Absolutely. Carter released his book on January 20th. I released mine on January 20th. My book is about 30 on Amazon. It's about 700. The reason why is these are facts. I'm not saying stuff in here I'm making up, Brian. I've met with more generals, more intelligence leaders than you can imagine. You asked me, did I learn something? I learned a ton of stuff that I did not know. Why did 9/11 happen? How did it start? What created this crisis? It was Jimmy Carter's liberal left policies.
And you can even go back to South America with Nicaragua. The Somoza's out, Ortega's in, Ortega's still there, and communism that started to take root.
When you see these people as human rights movements, you are feeding and fueling terror, and you're creating the perfect storm. That's what Carter did then, and that's what he's doing now.
And on some level, maybe they realize that, which is why you never saw Jimmy Carter out on the trail with Barack Obama. People did not want to see that analogy. Michael Evans, it's your 34th book. Congratulations on it. It's an excellent one and very insightful. Jimmy Carter, The Liberal Left, and World Chaos. Thanks so much for joining us, Mike.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Good luck.